I'm going to teach you guys how to win at the ATS system, how to get a job in tech. If you guys do not know, I went 26 paid checks, 13 pay periods, and 6 months or half of the year without a full-time job. And I was able to land an even better job than I was before I got laid off. So if you guys don't know, I am a data engineer. I've been a data engineer for close to 6 years now. So I have experience. I got my degree from Georgia State University and computer science with a specialization in databases and knowledge-based systems. But even still, with the credentials of a degree, specializing in computer science, with experience working for Fortune 500 companies, solving big systems, and solving big problems with big systems, I still had a hard time getting a job during the 2024 job market. So I was laid off in April, on April 1st. So on April Fool's Day, I was laid off from my previous job, and then I didn't get a job until 6 months later. So it was a struggle for me to maintain, but I do want to tell you guys some things that I learned about how to get a job and where you should spend most of your time. So I'm sure you guys have heard the saying that it's not what you know, it's who you know. And yes, that is very true. But right now, in such a brutal job market, it is actually about who knows you more so than anything else. So if people know you, like people can come up, like since I started my layoff journey, I made a lot of content, and people will come up to me and say, hey, I recognize you from LinkedIn, or I recognize you from YouTube. I had a few viral videos and posts that I made, and a lot of people started watching me. Nobody wants to get on the train that isn't moving. So if I was just laid off and I just applied to jobs, I'm not showing people that the train is moving. I'm not showing them that I'm doing anything. They just think I'm lazy and wasting a lot of time. So what I did was I started making content, talking about my layoff journey, talking about what I'm doing, keeping people updated, and that helped me out tremendously with getting more notoriety for being a data engineer, and then also for being active and keeping moving. Because I started making content talking about my journey, I started getting speaking engagements. I was featured in Business Insider and Forbes BLK and several other news publications and platforms. I've been a guest on several different podcasts talking about my layoff journey. I've volunteered to mentor people who are in computer science or interested in computer science. Had several keynote speeches. My most recent one was at Clayton State University, and I have posted the full keynote speech on my YouTube channel, BeforeTheBillions. I was able to make a YouTube series about my layoff journey, and that series alone yielded over 100,000 views. I never received that many views on my YouTube channel ever, just for like one series. So, and it's still growing with views. So you can say I kind of went semi-viral or mini-viral when I made that series. And that helped me out a lot because I got a lot of people reaching out to me. I got contracts from it, and I was working for people who were trying to finish their websites and people who wanted data engineering work or consultations. So I helped a lot of people out in that manner. And the reason I bring this up is that I think that the number one way that you can beat the ATS system, number one way that you can have a better opportunity to get a job is creation of content. Is the creation of content. I believe that is one of the best ways of getting a job right now. Simply because it allows for more people to know you. So overall, that beats the ATS system because people saw my post, right? The recruiter who got me my job that I'm at now saw one of my posts on LinkedIn, liked it so much, they said, I feel like I know you. They offered me an interview. I did well in the interview, and then they gave me an offer, and then the very next day the offer was accepted and I was able to get the job. And I did not get the application. I didn't even apply for the job until right before they gave me the offer. They said, hey, before I can give you the offer, you have to apply for the job just as a formality. So the ATS system didn't hurt me in any way, right? I didn't go to the ATS system until after they already interviewed me and they gave me a private link and everything else. So understand that that is one of the best ways. But if you don't want to go through the route of creating content, the next best thing that you can do is connect with a lot of people on either LinkedIn. I know that a lot of people on Twitter or X, a lot of people go on there in order to network and meet people. One of the best ways to meet people too is in person. But if you network with hiring managers and recruiters, you're putting yourself in position for you to be sourced. And they say, oh, I'm looking for somebody with data engineering or data analytics experience. Well, you put yourself out there and you'll be able to get more traction than if you just post your resume into the ATS system, because there are companies out there that get so many resumes. Think about it. If a company were to get, let's say, 1,000 applications for one job, then there's no way they can financially go through all of those resumes. They're not going to pay their recruiters and the people who are like the hiring managers and the team members all that money to just go through thousands of applications. What they're going to do is they will just throw out all the applications and then hire the people who they know. Or just like I said, the people who they know or who knows you. All right. So, but if they don't know who you are, you won't really be able to get opportunities. And that's essentially what I did when I was going to all these networking events and going to these conferences. And you can see all of this documented on either my LinkedIn or on my YouTube channel or on my Substack, in my Discord. I was telling people, hey, this is what I'm doing and I'm getting more opportunities. And it may not seem as though that these will help you get a job, but it helps you get traction. It helps you show up and people will know you. Like, yeah, if I volunteer my time to be able to help, the college students out, or lecture the college students, or give a keynote speech to the graduating class of 2024, if I do all of this, then it doesn't necessarily mean I get paid for it, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you get a job from it, but I guarantee you it's going to be a lot better than sitting at your desk or in your bed and applying to jobs endlessly without being able to get interviews. And that's what's causing the issue, is that if you're trying to beat the ATS system, the best way to beat the ATS system is when the person behind everything, who's in charge of hiring and who can put you in position, points you out and says, forget the ATS system. I need you in the system, but I already know I'm going to be hiring you, or you have a very good chance of getting the job. So you need to get sourced through a recruiter and or a hiring manager. They need to know you. That would be one of the best ways to beat it. I will tell you this: conferences, a lot of these positions that you may see are not actually being filled. They are not actually hiring for a lot of the positions that you may see. But what happens is if you do put in your resume, they may have some stuff in the future that may apply to you when they get some more funding. So it is good to go to conferences and send out your resume and meet with the people. But I'm gonna tell you is that you're gonna be wasting a lot of time if you sit there and you speak to all the salespeople. They'll be reaching back out to you, trying to get on the call with you. So you have to be very careful when it comes to giving out your information at these conferences. If your sole purpose is to get a job through going to the conference, take advantage of the on-site interviews and only speak to the recruiters or the hiring managers. The salespeople will be in there and they will talk your head off about their technology and their business and everything else. Unless you like speaking to people like I do, then I would try to avoid talking to people who can't put you in position. Okay? I like talking to people, so I'll just talk to anybody. But if you want to just be targeted, talk to the recruiter, the hiring manager. That's it. All right. And if they don't have the recruiter or the hiring manager, they can't put you in position. You may be wasting a lot of time. So what I'm making this video to say is these are some of the things that you can do to spend your best time or your best placement of your time. You don't want to waste a lot of time on things that will not put you in position. All right. If you do content, that may be one of the best ways right now. But I know a lot of people are either scared to do content, or just don't want to. They're like either you're scared or you don't want to do content, because content can even just be just posting text on Twitter or posting text on LinkedIn, talking about, hey, I'm looking for this position and these are my skills and this is the project I'm working on. That can also be content, but some people that I've talked to do not want to be able to do even that. So the next best thing is to meet people in person. Okay? The reason I say content is maybe the best is because you get such a wide range of people that you may not even realize are actually watching your content. Okay? So hopefully this video is helpful. I believe that will be the best way to beat the ATS system. Yes, you can optimize your resume. You can do all of that. But you essentially only have a 2 to 5% chance of being able to get the interview and get the job through applying or mass applying online. Like, it is possible for you to get a job through doing it, but which one would you rather spend your time on? Something that has a higher yield of getting you the job, or something that you got to spend day in, day out and just keep on applying endlessly? I'm going to tell you guys, I spent 6 months without a job. And what I was doing was I applied to a whole bunch of different jobs. It's close to, so nearly 500 different positions and across multiple different companies, because every single day people would send me positions. I would mass apply and stuff, and I never got even a single interview from mass applying. I remember, and I'll give you a quick story. I remember this one time I applied for a job at FanDuel, and FanDuel reached back out to me and said, "Oh, we really liked your resume. Let's set up a time to do an interview." And they sent me their Calendly link. I filled out the Calendly link. I was like, okay, cool. So this is the time that we're going to be meeting. Let me tell you, is that what they did was I filled out that time. They didn't show up to the meeting. They ghosted me. I never heard back from them even after I asked. I sent a follow-up email like, hey, still is right now still a good time? They never responded. And a week or two later, they told me that the job was closed and I did not get the job. So that was the only time when somebody actually reached back out to me for a position, and I still did not get an interview, despite them telling me, hey, this is the link to get an interview. So which one would you rather spend your time on mostly? Okay. One last thing before we end this off is that also there are going to be a lot of organizations that you can join to be able to kind of help you get a job, but just be targeted if you do go the route of joining organizations, because sometimes you can get a job through joining organizations, but some of them have high upfront costs. Like I remember one organization was trying to charge $1,000 a year for you to join, and then there was no real guarantee. There was like no real focus on getting jobs. It was like kind of more like a social type of volunteer type of organization, but it didn't. I didn't even join that. I was like, okay, yeah, it doesn't make sense for me to spend $1,000 to join an organization to do that. But what I did was I started joining organizations like workforce development organizations, specifically in tech, to help me to build my skills, build my network, and then put me in position by showing me all the open positions that were available. So take all of these things, and then hopefully that will be able to help you out if you are still looking for a job in 2024. Right now, it is the 2nd of December of 2024, and hopefully 2025 is going to be better for the job seekers out there. I know a lot of people who have been laid off for over a year. So I'm gonna tell you guys is that it is a grind, and I understand that you want to be able to pay your bills, and you want to be able to grow within your career and invest and save and take care of your family. So you have to be able to make sure that you're being targeted, that you are showing that you're active, because nobody wants to get on the train that is not moving. That being said, guys, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And also hit that bell notification icon if you want to be notified whenever I make new videos on YouTube. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and do not forget to build your billions.